All right, we play a little game of If You Only Knew.
Okay.
What's your guilty pleasure?
My guilty pleasure is probably cooking shows. I love watching food shows.
You watch the Food Channel.
I love Guy Fieri. I love all that kind of stuff. I find it very relaxing and enjoyable.
Biggest regret?
Not being allowed to skip the 7th grade, even though I had earned the right to do it in school. I feel like I was kind of...
Why didn't they let you?
My parents wouldn't let me do it. They didn't want me to do it. And I knew that I needed to get out of school and get moving, and I had to stay that extra year, even though I earned the right to skip. So I think if that's probably my biggest regret right now.
You'll never make it.
Yeah, exactly.
Proudest achievement?
I have many, and I'm very lucky in that respect, but I'm very proud of this show. This show is the most unfettered...
The new one?
The new one. Larry Charles' Dangerous World of Comedy is the purest thing I've ever done.
Do you still get money from Seinfeld?
Yes, I do. I get residuals.
That's nice, huh?
It's incredible.
They come in like
it's
they're
amazing to me. It's run like 4 or 5 times a day all over the country, and I could be in Africa or I could be in the Middle East, and they'll go, "Oh, you got to meet my friend. He's just like Kramer." I mean, I met many Arabs who love Seinfeld, so it transcends culture and it transcends religion, and that's one of the keys to it. Also, people found it funny no matter what background they're from.
Are you shocked what happened to Michael Richards?
I am, and I that's very regrettable. And he's really a very good person who kind of got into something that he was in over his head, and he made a mistake, and he didn't really extricate himself properly.
What's he doing now?
I don't know. Hopefully he's okay.
Pet peeve?
Probably trying to get to the airport. I don't mind traveling. I don't mind getting there. I hate going to the airport. It makes me, I need drugs just to get to the airport.
Favorite comedian?
My favorite comedian really is probably Larry David. Larry David is somebody who, from the very first time I met him, without knowing anything about him, made me chortle uncontrollably.
Favorite episode of Seinfeld?
That's a hard one. I mean, I love The Bubble Boy. That was one that I actually wrote with Larry.
Did you? That was hysterical.
Very inspired, kind of lots of different elements to it, outside of the usual sets that we used. I did an episode, a 3-part episode called The Trip, where Kramer went to California. That's one of my favorites.
It's Wanted for Murder.
I loved the whole season that we won. We finally won the Emmy in '93, I think. And that whole season was connected. The Cheever letters, the outing, the contest, all those shows were in that season. And that's a great season of TV.
What's something that never fails to make you laugh?
People falling. I laugh at people falling in holes and tripping and very basic bad stuff that I shouldn't be laughing at. That's what makes me laugh. Yes.
You fall, I laugh my head off.
Yes.
I cut my finger, I run to Manson.
Exactly.
Country you've never been to but want to visit?
Love to go to Russia.
There must be comics there.
Definitely comedians in Russia. They even had a Saturday Night Live type of show at one time. So they're there, and I'm curious of how they operate in the Putin.
What's the biggest risk you ever took?
The biggest risk was probably going to Somalia. There was a moment where we were trapped in a checkpoint with a lot of people with machine guns, and nobody knew who anybody was, and I had second thoughts. That was the time that I had second thoughts about what I'd done.
Strangest job you ever had?
I used to put the pins, when you buy a shirt, remember they would have pins in them. I worked in the garment center.
I always wondered, who put the pins in?
Me.
Is there an art to that?
No. There's no art to it at all, actually.
Simply?
It's, in fact, you walk away with bloody fingers at the end of the day, and you can't really do that job. It's not a long-term job, sticking the pins in. But yeah, I did that.
Why are pins in shirts? Why don't they just fold?
These are very good existential questions that should have been asked a long time ago, and I think that's why we don't see them anymore. They don't make any sense.
Yeah, why do they have to pull out pins?
You have to pull out pins, and you always forgot one until you put it on, and then paint.
What's something we should all be paying more attention to?
The Native American situation in our country. We have an entire population of Native Americans. They have been the subject of genocide. They are forgotten people, and we ignore them. And in fact, we abuse their memory through things like the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cleveland Indians and the Washington Redskins. We tend to abuse them. They're a minority that needs our help and needs our respect.
We have broken more treaties than any other country.
There you go. Exactly.
What's something people don't know about you?
That I wanted to be a rabbi. when I
You
was
dressed
a kid.
like one.
And now I'm kind of a rabbi.
You did want to be
I'm an
one?
honorary rabbi. Yeah, I went to Hebrew school in Brighton, and I was very into it. I loved it, but I would keep asking my rabbis these existential questions, like if Adam and Eve, if Cain killed Abel, it's like, and they would throw me out of the school.
Yeah,
I would get
they
kicked
get
out of
mad,
the
they
class.
get mad.
Yeah, and so they kind of just, by the time of my bar mitzvah, I was discouraged. I used to wear tzitzits. I spoke Hebrew. I was very, very
Bench
serious
tefillin?
about it. Yeah, I did this tefillin. Every weekend I went to Sabbath services. I did everything. But they turned me off to the religion ultimately, and I still seek. I'm still a seeker, but not in that religion anymore.
Never miss a beat. Subscribe to Larry King now and watch new episodes every day.